Hello, and welcome to my first critical reflection. I'm doing this reflection to look back on the first 2 months as a CAPI intern living in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and interning at the Environmental Law Clinic at Chiang Mai University. I'm going to discuss what I've learned about the culture that I'm living in, as well as the things that I've learned about myself since my internship began. I'm going to start by reflecting on my internal experience and then reflect on what I've noticed in my environment. So, when I got here, I was pretty anxious to be alone for such a long period of time. My internship is 6 months, completely alone. I mean, I have coworkers, but I don't have another intern. I'm a solo intern. And this scared me for sure. Definitely when I was on the plane, I touched on that a little bit in my reflection. But as I was flying to Chiang Mai, to Bangkok actually, as I was flying to Bangkok in the middle of the flight, I was like, wow, I'm really here. I'm so far away from home. I don't even have any like cellular right now. I can't talk to anyone. I'm completely by myself. And that scared me. But to be honest, in the time that I've been here, I love being alone. I don't feel lonely. I occasionally do, but most of the time, I love it. I love reading. I love exploring my interests. I love finding out new interests that I didn't know that I had. I've been kind of breaking out of a box that I put myself in musically. I've been playing around with the piano, music theory. I've been reading books that I don't know if I would normally read. I've been exploring, meandering, and just being comfortable being alone, doing things by myself. And that's been major for me because I feel like I've been an extrovert most of my life. Part of it is just because I like people, I like hanging out with people, but part of it is because I didn't like being by myself. And I kind of love being by myself now. It wasn't like an instant change. I've been working on it for quite some time, but being here alone, not knowing people, I've really been able to see how much that work is paying off. I love it. That's honestly all I have to say about that. There's not a lot of negatives to that. I definitely get homesick and, I miss people, but I really like being by myself and I really appreciate this time. It's an honor and it's a privilege. It's very interesting for me and for anyone when they're placed in an entirely different culture and an entirely different zeitgeist and they notice things about themselves and about other people that they would not notice back home, right? For example, I went out to eat with my coworker and friend U, and we're eating at this vegan noodle place, which is so good. I might talk about that later. It's so good. It deserves like a separate segment. But anyways, so I'm eating with chopsticks and ooh is like, wow, you know how to use those. That's pretty cool. And that's something that I've never really thought about. So then I text my dad and I'm like, you taught me how to use chopsticks when I was young. Like, I'm just letting you know that paid off because now I'm in Southeast Asia and I'm kind of getting props for knowing how to use them. And then he pointed out that his dad taught him how to use chopsticks from when his dad went to Okinawa. And I never met his dad. So it's kind of cool to see something that my grandfather learned that I now know that was taught to me from my father. But I wouldn't have really appreciated that or known about that had I not gone here. So it's very interesting to see all these things coming up through the culture and through the social norms that I wouldn't have interacted with back in Canada. In that same vein, something that I found that's honestly been really disappointing for me is that I only speak English. And I've talked to a lot of people here. Everyone speaks Thai. All the locals speak Thai, anyways. And most of the locals speak English, and they'll often say, oh, my English is so bad, while speaking pretty much fluent English. There's a few grammatical mistakes, but aside from that, I completely understand what they're saying. And I'm like, look, I can't speak Thai. I can say hello, I can say thank you, I can say yummy, and a few other words, but I'm nowhere near fluent. And some of the people I've interacted with speak like upwards of 5 languages. It's impressive, but it's not entirely unheard of or uncommon here. So that's something I really want to work on. I feel like it would open the door to much deeper connection with people who speak Thai as a first language or people who speak Thai fluently. With the little Thai that I do speak, I've gotten really positive feedback from people who speak Thai as a first language. They're typically really happy that I speak even a little bit of Thai. So I'd really like to further that in the future and just continuing to learn and to study the language. So now I want to talk about some of the things that I see culturally in Chiang Mai. So I have to say I love Chiang Mai. I love Thailand as a whole. I've only been to Bangkok outside of Chiang Mai, but I do plan to do more traveling throughout the internship. But I love the culture here. It is so rooted in respect. All of this stuff is from my personal experience, which of course may differ from other people's, but it's all I can really speak to because it's all that I've observed. But I have to say, yeah, everyone has been incredibly kind and just culturally bowing, smiling. I mean, bowing, like that's something that we don't really do in the West, but it's the semiotics of that really show a deep level of respect. Another thing that is different from the West that I've noticed is, I mean, there's so many temples, so much Buddhist iconography, which is something that I really appreciate. I'm a Buddhist, and in the West there is some Buddhist practices, but it's not so open, and you definitely don't see monks walking around. So it's been really cool to be able to observe that and be a part of that, to be able to talk to monks, to be able to go to temples and see monks walking around, going about their day-to-day life, getting their food and things that they need, seeing I went to the hospital once. I'm okay, but I went to the hospital once and I saw a monk there, and just being reminded that like monks are people. This is an option that people have to go and be a monk, because in the West, and I don't hate the West, I want to make that super clear. I'm just observing these differences, you know? Like monks seem almost mythical because you don't ever see what that would actually be like. But then here it's, day-to-day life, you walk around, you see a lot of monks. It's a reminder that this religion that I practice is still very much alive all around the world, but I mean, it's so vibrantly alive where I am now. It's really beautiful to see, and it's a reminder of the Dharma. It's very powerful, and I really appreciate it. To summarize, I'm really enjoying my time here in Chiang Mai. I'm learning a lot about the culture, about life in general, and about myself and who I am in relationship with others, but also who I am alone and who I am in the West and who I am in Southeast Asia. Overall, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I'm proud of myself. And I'm proud of all my other interns out there who are doing the same thing that I am. I will see you guys soon-ish. And yeah, stay tuned for more updates about life in Chiang Mai and my travels in Southeast Asia.